Shalom, shalom. Before we begin, I want to give all the glory and honor and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ka'akudash. Yahweh being the name of the true Heavenly Father, who was and calls God, meaning He exists, He to be. Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son, meaning He saves, He delivers. With Ka'akudash being the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. And we back at double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Shalom to Yakim, the faith and word, true sincerity. And we back out here with another one through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, to prophesy His word and to bring out, what's going on in the world, man. Filtering it via the scriptures, man, because there's more than enough things to talk about in these last days. And the signs He's given us lets us know that we're in the last days, man. We're in the end of the last days, man. And bear with me, and the scripture just came to mind in the book of Joel. Man, we're gonna bring out these current events, and Lord willing, this has to be edifying. Last week, I wasn't able to speak, with my trumpet being so loud because I was a little under the weather, but Lord willing, it come through this week, man. I'm feeling a lot better. The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1, it reads, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion." What's the trumpet? Your voice. The voice of the Lord, the word of the Lord, exalting the voice. And Zion being His people before it's a place. We're not in the land of Israel right now. We're not going to Zion right now and doing the work, We're not with the flea doctrine. The Lord is going to place us there when the time is necessary. We're not going to place our own selves there, like how the 1948ers did. That's why they're going through all out hell and chaos. If we was in that land, we was to force ourselves to go in that land, do what Bishop Nathaniel's doing, or other camps, trying to get a sponsor of buses and flights. We'd be probably living in hell over there, man, because it's not our time to be there yet. And sounding an alarm in my holy mind. What's that alarm? Time of war, time of Jacob's trouble, Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. So these people should be trembling when the men of the Lord are on the site, on the scene, doing the sit-downs, doing the classes, doing the lessons. But people just walk by. They don't give a damn. They don't inquire. They think it's going to be another day in their life. It's just a crazy man with the road, But the Lord said to blow that alarm, man. In other words, we like a... how a cop car or a firefighter truck, they're riding by, they're speeding by, and they get everyone's attention? That's what we should be, because we're a sign that we're at the end. You got so-called black men, so-called Hispanics, Native Americans, and people looking like the speckled bird, doing the work with Bibles in their hand, not doing nigga shit. You should be inquiring. You should be like, what the hell's going on? But nah, these people are too simple, and the Lord has blinded them. Someone has to play that lot, and that's all according to prophecy. They're not gonna hear or forbear. For the day of the Lord cometh, it is nigh at hand. The day of the Lord's right around the corner, man. You can feel it, you can smell it, man. If you got a spiritual sense of inkling, spirituality, you know what time it is, man. Things are not getting better. People say new year, new me, or every year, this should be the start of a fresh. First of all, y'all on the Gregorian calendar. And then second of all, y'all Solomon feast days is not going to be heard of the Lord. He don't care for that no more. The mirth of the land shall cease. And then third of all, hey, the new year just came about, through the Pesach, the Passover. And, shit's still hitting the fan. The Apostle Har and the rest of the apostles on down, and the elders and the bishops, they deemed this year as the year of Jacob's trouble, rightfully so. And on my way here, I was passing a company called Goodyear. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Goodyear, the tire company. They sponsor NASCAR and whatnot. Hey, this is a good year, man. For the elect, shit's been popping off. We got more than enough topics to talk about. We don't feel like the Lord is dragging His feet. Of course, we want to be out of here yesterday on our time. But hey, we're on the Lord's time, man. So patience is going to heal all things, man. Time heals all things. It's going to come a point in time where we're going to be in the kingdom laughing about, the bullshit we got to go through, like going to work and having to take humiliation from Esau. A day of darkness and the gloominess, a day of clouds and a thick darkness and a morning spread upon the mountains. This government, spiritually dark and literally dark because of the nuclear suits that's going to be popping off, the fires that's going to be just ongoing and smoking. It's going to saturate the air and the atmosphere. A great people, it's going to be like China. How they say China's dirty with all them damn factories, it's going to be worse than China. They great people and are strong, they have not been ever liked, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years many generations. They fire devoureth before them, and behold, the flame burneth, the land is garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, nothing shall escape them. Hey, guess what's coming here? ICBM nuclear missiles. That's how Babylon the Great is going to be pretty much pelted off the earth. You know, but I have some current events which I plan to open up with, but you know, the Spirit always takes the wheel of your plans and, you know, guides you, because, you know, that's how we go off of, man. Everything is through the Spirit, man. So the first thing I have listed is Iran launching air attacks on Israel, and in other words, in defense, because leading up to this good war, which it really hasn't even got the best yet, leading up to this, there was a lot of proxy wars going on. In other words, you had Hezbollah, you had ISIS, you had these different things which they were blaming Iran for. But now Iran's foot is in it, you know. Now there's no more hiding, and now they're at the front and center. And that's a big, powerful nation. That's the modern day Persians, man, you know. So they're warriors. They're going to put up a fight. The Lord going to have that spirit upon them, whether, like it says in the book of Second Ezra, the dragons of Arabia shall come together, you know. So Ishmael is known as a wild man. And I'm going to bring out a few scriptures, because the U.S. said they're going to back Israel up, as to no surprise to the elect, and to the Lord willing, I'm part of that number. No surprise to the men of the Lord that are studying their scriptures and their Bibles. Because in the book of Jeremiah, as we always state, 50 and 45, it reads, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that he hath taken against Babylon," meaning Babal, confusion, which this place is a confusing place. This is modern day Babylon, not former Iraq, not former Babylon. "And his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and he shall surely make their habitation desolate with them." So in other words, if it says with them, the people that are going to be backing up the least of the flock, which is Amalek, as we know, the small hatters, the Jays, you know, that means whoever backs them up is going to have a desolate habitat, man. But guess what? The land of the Jays, which is really our land, they're just holding it down for us right now, because it says a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, you know. You ain't think that Esau Edom was just going to let the land just be. You know they got to go over there and falsify the people of the Lord and blaspheme the spirit of the Lord. You know, they got to say that's their land. So right now they dirtying it, they trotting it down. That's why it has to be desolate, because it needs to be rebuilt back up for the people of the Lord, man. We don't want that. You don't want to. That's why we talking about we don't want to go to that damn land right now, man. It's trodden down. Why the hell would we want to go right now? We want to go when the Lord sets us up there, man. Where we're going to have slaves and continuing employment so people could rebuild that land. Brothers going to constantly have a request. Yeah, let me get this built right here. Let me, you know, brothers going to, you know, you're going to have some architectural minded like brothers. You're going to have different kind of brothers. Like it says, man, continual work. So you're going to have places outside of Israel where you need to be built, you know, but we're going to work Esau Edom ass to death. And when his time is done, and trust me, we're going to get our money's worth out of him, man. You know, for them 1,000 years, which he's going to be in hardcore slavery, there's not going to be no love, man, because the Lord's going to put his anger within us, man, you know. Because sometimes I make jokes and shit like, you know, I say my slave's going to be fed well and all that, but hey, when the Lord puts that anger upon us, you know, he rewinds these things which happened back in history. Oh, man, Esau Edom, the Sabbath day is going to feel like a month for him, because that's going to be his only rest, the Sabbath day and our holy days, you know. It says I'll make his habitation desolate with them, man. You know, but Babylon the Great is not going to be rebuilt back up. It speaks about how in the Revelation, book of Revelation, how there should be satyrs and desert-like creatures and animals, you know, it's going to dwell here. So all the greenery, what you see in the background, the photosynthesis, that's not going to no longer be here. It's going to be heaps and ashes. It's going to be rubble. You know, you ever seen an ashtray? That's going to be Babylon the Great, with scorpions digging holes and shit like that. You're going to have big crater holes and shit like that. You know, we're gonna hiss at it when you pass by it, says, man. How's the hammer of the earth cut asunder? You know, because this place has dwelt deliciously. You know, the average Great Kingdom lasts 250 years. This place is at 247 years. So this place is obviously, it had a good run. You know, this place, you know, they did their thing in wickedness, man, which is why I gotta go down. You know, you got fucking dumbasses who are really taking like this thing serious. I seen this dude, I was gonna do a lesson on it, but it wasn't even worth my time. This dude was doing a fucking fast for America. He's holding a fast for America. So I guess the Lord could, give them more time or whatever, so they could be godly or something. There's no saving this place, man. You know, we throwing curses upon this place. We fasted so we can get up out of this place. We fasted so this place can be destroyed even faster, man. Ain't no saving no damn Babylon. It's being destroyed from without and within. This place, the people that rule this place are not fit to rule. The wicked rules the earth, man. And look what they do outside of their borders. They cause everyone else to go off right with them. Trying to feed people democracy, sodomy, free will, all type of bullshit. And, you know, because of this war, you got different airspaces that are closing down. Like Yemen's airspace, you know, so Iran's airspace. So if you go on these air track or these travel flight radars, which I do, I like to do the sea things too. Like, let's say when Yemen was hitting those, which there still are, it's just not at the same rate, so they don't speak about it as much. And they don't want to talk about their losses because they want to make Yemen seem weak. But when they're hitting them ships and shit, and those ships got to divert and go around Africa and do 3 times the, you know, work as to cutting in the Red Sea, you know, I'd keep track of that. You know, I'd see, you know, if that was true. And you could obviously see that it's true because when you go on the radar, you don't see no ships cutting through the shortcut. They're all going the long way. Same thing with the air travel, man. That's gonna make the planes work harder, the pilots work harder. You know, flights are gonna cost more. That's why in the book of Isaiah chapter 13, it speaks about how, you know, everyone will turn back to their own place. So we're gonna get that. The point being in verse 14, so bear with me. Isaiah chapter 13, starting at verse 9, and it reads, "Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger." So what are the people talking about? They're already saved. What are you talking about? This is not cloudy of a chance of meatball where the Lord's coming down on a rainbow like an Irishman with a pot of gold luck, this, that, and the third, man. It says cruel both with wrath and fierce anger. You gonna know the Lord via his judgment. He's coming by cracking the clouds on the chariot, man. That ain't nobody that's coming. Come on, man. He said he saw not meet thee as a man. So people out here are delusional about their false white Jesus, man. You know, and white Jesus ain't gonna be here either. He gonna be destroyed too, man. Bel is confounded. We gonna get that. You know, their false idols is gonna be put to smithereens. These squirrels ain't fucking with me today. They be thinking I'm trying to feed them, so they be getting hella close. Continuing on, Isaiah 13, verse 9, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. That's righteous anger, you know, that's indignation. So the Lord is gonna, you know, do something terrible because, you know, the people have terribly sinned. That's a good deal. The same way how the Lord terribly dealt with us, you know, through slavery because we terribly sinned. That's a good deal, you know. There was a contract made and the contract was broken. What happens when you break contracts in Babylon? You get sued the hell out of you, or, you know, you get a harsh penalty. So how much more for dealing with the Lord? The stars of heaven, the constellations thereof, shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened and going forth. The moon shall not cause her light to shine, because of the saturated atmosphere of all the fires and debris, which is gonna go up. That's why it says the other nations stood afar off watching her burn, because it's gonna be so damn great. You're gonna be able to see it from miles away. That's why we do this work, because we gotta get up out of here, man. This is a war zone, man. You know, when you go to a sea show, like a aquarium, they say this is the splash zone. This is the missile zone, man. From coast to coast, from California to the East Coast, from Texas all the way up to like Idaho, Wyoming, all the borders surrounding about, man. Babylon the Great is a dangerous place, you know, but we believe in the Lord that he's got us. The same way he's taking out these prophecies, the same way we see that they are true, we believe he's mighty and righteous to save us, man, as well. The Lord will not be a part of that number. Verse 11, I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, meaning sin upon sin, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. All that USA chanting banter, America the Great, you know, all that patriotism, all that shit's dying. It says the mighty men of Babylon are forborn to fight. These dudes don't want to go to war for this place. Everybody like, man, they see this place being uncovered. They see all the lies they used to sell. This place is finished, man. Call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Ka'akadash. and will lay the low. I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will cause a man to be more precious than fine gold, even a man of the golden wedge of Ophir. Ophir being a golden city known for its gold. Hey, that's how the man of the Lord is going to be, because gold is a very precious metal. Why? Because it's limited, and it has a lot of different great properties, you know. And this man of great gold is talking about, this man of fine gold, Salakia, is speaking about the elect, you know, the men of the Lord. Because times are going to be so bad, hey, that's going to be your best hedge of protection, because the men of the Lord are going to be under the hedge of protection of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know, so you being around a man of the Lord, you women having a man of the Lord, that's going to be a great gift. You know, and you men of the Lord is going to be a great gift in itself, because you're going to be as fine gold. You're going to be very rare and limited, man. The Lord is only going to be dealing with those individuals on a high level. You know, on the right-hand side, man. Because the Lord going to be dealing with all these damn people, but they're going to be through. You know, the Lord dealing with his men. You know, he's going to have them being fed, them having laughter, them having drink, them having, you know, home, them being as pilgrims upon the earth, but still being kept, as Daniel in the lion's den. You know, having ravens feed us, man, so forth and so on. All these different accounts in the Bible where people backs were to the wall, David versus Goliath. These are things that are supposed to strengthen us and have us believe more so that the times we're coming into, we're gonna be all right, man. The Lord has done it, man. He's done it before. He's gonna do it again. He destroyed this place before. He's gonna destroy it again. Think about something, Salakia. It's a scripture. Try not to butcher it at all. Khan, have you seen any of the righteous begging bread? Roughly paraphrasing. Another one too. Khan, Lord willing, come back to me. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts in the day of his fierce anger. How is the earth going to shake? What's going to cause the earth to shake? 100,000-pound ICBM nuclear missiles, 200 million of them, shot upon Babylon the Great. Of course the earth is going to rule 2 and 4. You're going to have earthquakes in diverse places, man. This place is going to tremble. This is the point being right here from all the current events I was mentioning, like the airspaces and all that. Salakia for being long-winded, but hey, you know, certain chapters you got to grab certain precepts. You know, this one of the ones I couldn't just go straight to the point. And it shall be as a chased roe, as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee unto his own land. So it's going to be a mass exodus, man. Everyone will be trying to get back to their own land because they realize, okay, this place is going to get fucked up. My place is about to go to war. I'm going to go defend my place. I'd rather be around my people if I'm going to die. You know, different scenarios of that sort, man. And that's why in 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 17 says, a man shall desire to go into the city, but shall not be able to. Why? Because you're going to have closed airspaces. You're going to have closed sea spaces. You're going to have road closures. You see how everyone's riding around behind this road? It's like, yeah. You see all that traffic behind me? Hey, it's going to come a point in time where you can only go to certain destination zones because you're going to have small city rebels. You're going to have anarchists, man. They're going to be patrolling their own freaking homes and whatnot, like Texas and all that. That's I'm not sure what's the political word for it, but that's some gun-toting. That's a gun-toting place. I would say Edomites, but everybody out there gun-toting, man. You know, they're on the brink of a civil war. You know, they got the people trying to cross the borders using their place. They're not going for that. So you're gonna have the civilians doing shit like that. You're gonna have martial law troops. You're gonna have UN troops. Bruh, can't make this up. So yeah, if you're paying attention, or if you've seen, not if you're paying attention, because this shit like that can go under your nose or whatnot, because it's not crazy breaking news. But after Moscow had that crazy ass what's that shit called? Pretty much terrorist attack where they had over 200 people die in the theater. That same week, Vladimir Putin, he sent back majority of the Muslims that's in the land. He had that airport packed, ready to go to send these people back to their fucking lands. Same thing with Israel, the Ben Gurion airport. Because of all these attacks and all these threats that Iran have been seeing, them people are losing faith in that land, man. They're like, man, fuck that. I'm going to America where it's a safer, or I'm going to Europe, you know, different countries, wherever the hell they from, because they know they're not from that land, man. Now they know the Lord ain't dealing with them, man. They know they're going to be put to smithereens soon. You know? So, America ain't safe. Israel ain't safe. Australia, they had another stabbing. You know, at first they had stabbed that priest, but then recently they had a mall stabbing where this dude, he stabbed about 7 people, which is a number of completion or whatnot. But things like this is gonna become normal. I've seen on a reply on these comments, which I was reading about. Bear with me. Let me get a sip of my water. I seen what was I about to say? Oh yeah. I seen on these comments and these replies how this dude said, man, shit like this, not on this particular one, but it was like some other grave, crazy news. Because this shit is normal now, man. This ain't, you know, back in the day, you go on the news, Pookie and Ray Ray, they robbed the store, they went in there, they took Skittles. Did you see this person? That'll be once a blue moon, man. Every other day you see, okay, Pookie and Ray Ray got shot. But now, you see this shit happening more frequently. The person in the comments said, man, you used to rarely see these kind of things. Now this shit is just like regular, man. Which is right. You know, we're in an infodemic where everyone could just pretty much expose what the hell's going on. And people are losing their minds, man. You know, like it's prophesied in the book, you know, at the end of the days, you know, people are going to be losing their minds, roughly paraphrasing. It's like in Ezra chapter 15, verse 16 says, how there's going to be sedition among men, you know, with swords in their hands, fighting one another. That's literal. And you know, that's literal, man. You know, you got that shit going on in Australia. People stabbing each other because these different places where the gun laws are very strict. People still have weapons of warfare, man. People still have ways that they're gonna, you know, destroy one another. You know, so that's what's going on in New York. That shit's a hellhole, man. And may the Lord continue to bless every brother. You know, that's part of the elect. You know, that's in the state of New York, because that's just a fucking hellhole. That's an open air prison, in my opinion. You know, I'm sure other brothers probably feel different about it, you know, because they're so used to it and they've lived there and whatnot. But every time I check the news out there, it's just stupidity, you know. So yeah, that's the sedition you having because people are losing their mind. Hello, sister. You're an Israelite. Israel, they claim to have intercepted 99% of the missiles, which not missiles, Salakia, drones, and some missiles were shot off, but they weren't ICBMs. Don't get that confused. You have different kinds of missiles, but they claim to shot down 99% of it, which is pretty effective, you know. So they're trying to instill security within their people, you know, that their Iron Dome is the shit and the Lord is dealing with them and all that, you know, great bullshit. But guess what? That cost them $1 billion, because what they're doing, which the Elder Malcolm will put me onto this, and then I later came to find out, you know, doing research, you know, because that's what we ought to be doing, man. You know, researching these things, man, making sure, you know, we on point and bringing out 100% truth. So they spent $1 billion doing that, right? While Iran only spent like $40 million shooting off all them damn drones. So in the long run, can Israel, if you're good with math, it's really basic, simple math. If they're spending that much money, which $1 billion is $999 million plus another million, man. So think about that. That's about 120, shit. I can't even do the math. That's so many damn 40 millions. You know, if you divide $1 billion by 40 million, you know, in the long run, they can't win that war, man. You know, they're gonna be pleaded out. They're gonna be pretty much, their pocket's gonna go to a drought. Yeah, they control the banks and all that shit, but they're gonna feel it, man. They can't win that war. And that's just Iran versus them. Now imagine when the rest of the dragons of Arabia, you know, come together. It's gonna be nothing, man, to shut that shit down. So what they're doing is they're stressing the system. Once the system gets fried, it's gonna be no more protection for them people, because that shit is just like an umbrella, you know. And all they're doing is they're sending decoy, false, you know, weapons just to fry the system and just to test it. And they've done all these tests. They have the answer. This is for an appointed time. You know, the Lord is working on the minds of these kings. You know. So that's what's going on, and which is very strategic. I want to show you we in that time. And there's a scripture, I'm gonna mention it, but I'm not gonna quote it because I was trying to find it, but I can't find it. But there's a scripture in the Bible how it speaks about how, you know, the defense of, you know, Edomites, Amalek is gonna fail, you know. And if a brother find that, you know, or know what I'm talking about, you can comment that about the shot. If not, you know, call to WAP. But yeah, you know, in the day of calamity where ICBM nuclear missiles are shot and that system is fried, come on, man. You got scientists, you got people that are very good with technology. They didn't think for 1 second that, you know, some bullshit like that could, you know, save them. But that's why they flee in that land, man. So you're going to have mass exodus of people going from one place to another because they're not going to know where it's safe. Because they don't know the scriptures. The Lord ain't dealing with them, and they don't know nothing. You know, and people are coming to Babylon the Great not knowing this is a altar of humans. Humans are about to be the sacrifice. You know, y'all about to be fuel to the fire. You know, so if they do anything, they knew to not put no bunkers here. That's why that bunker talk is so big, because people know we're in the time of war. Celebrities speaking about craziness and all that crazy stuff. But the thing is, while all this is accessible and vivid and obvious to the elect and to the men of the Lord, children and women that are, you know, paying attention and abiding in His word, Jake is out there, you know, distracted with Ryan Garcia. They believe that's reality. They're distracted with Rick Ross versus Drake. They're distracted with all just the manners of life, you know, which the scriptures speak about how the fashion of this world passes away, you know. So our people are just, they're drinking the juice, they're drinking the wine, they're into sodomy. They just gone, man, you know. So it's gonna come a point in time where it's just gonna be near, and they're gonna be able to ignore it at all whatsoever. Continuing on, we had that mass flooding in Dubai, you know. That's another reason why people are not gonna be able to go from one place to another. If your airport is seized, is compromised, you gotta understand, sea travel and air travel, they circulate the economy majorly, which is another reason why you're gonna have hyperinflation, like it speaks about in Second Esdras. You know, victuals being so good and cheap upon the earth that they thought themselves to be in a good case, you know. I'm sure brothers seen it. Dubai shit, whatever. Let's say every brother know what a Range Rover is. You had floods going all the way up to like the steering wheel, man. Your car is not gonna be able to drive in that. Only a boat could do that, you know. So, you know, those planes couldn't take off. You know, the airport is shut down. You know, they're doing all they can so they can remove the water. But that's all because they want to play, you know, Esau's game. They was doing cloud seeding, you know, so they could bring in more water to their grounds, because in the Quran they have some bullshit talk about when it turns green, the land. And really, they've been doing all the shit man-made. They've been planting seeds in the land so they can get more greenery or whatnot, so it can be less desert-like. So, you know, the Lord ain't dealing with them, and they just being exposed. You know, you can't play the Lord. You know, you can't play God upon the earth, man. You know, if your region is supposed to be a certain way, it's gonna be a certain way until the time, you know, that it shouldn't be. You know, so they trying to play God. They're trying to put cloud seeding upon the atmosphere, upon these clouds, and that shit turned upon them. They got more than they expected, I'm guessing, you know, because that's a rich land, you know, and a lot of shit just got destroyed because of that flood, you know. Waters is up into the landing gears of planes. So a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able to, man. People are going to be fucked. Indonesia had a volcano eruption, you know, and that's another thing that's going to happen. When the earth starts reeling to and fro, you're going to have a lot of other catastrophes that are going to be going down, man, you know. Once this nuclear debris starts getting in the air, it's going to affect different regions and different atmospheres, man. You're going to have, you know, wildfires popping up because of droughts. You're going to have flooding because of, you know, cloud seeding and shit like that. You're going to have chemical and nuclear waste. You might see a large body of water, so-called fresh water, but because of all the bullshit going on around, that shit's now tainted. You know, because there was a nearby nuclear spill, or the rain was acidic. You know, this place is terrible. That's another reason why it should be destroyed. The air is fucked up. You got chemtrails going on. You got fluoride in the water. People are not on the level of the men of the Lord, man. Long story short, these people are walking zombies. These people don't know shit. You can't hold a conversation with them. But that's why we're in the book of Habakkuk, you know, where these things are speaking to where you don't have to convince a motherfucker too much. They might be dumb, but, you know, they'll get the point because shit is in their face at this point. And we're going to get to the book of Habakkuk, Lord willing, if we have time. A few more current events. Ecuador, they had a power shortage of 13 cuts. So I'm guessing they have, oh yeah, that's the spirit. I'm speaking about droughts and shit. Salaki for my cursing. Let me slow down on that. For edification purposes, ain't no edification coming out, one person. But sometimes, the spirit on you, to get your point across, you curse at a motherfucker or whatnot. But anyway, they have 13-hour power cuts, and the way they get their electricity is through hydroelectricity. So in other words, bodies of water moving, causing a mechanical thing to rotate or whatnot, which is bringing electricity due to the wind. So they're not having electricity. Why? Because they're not having the same water flow which they used to. Why? Because they're having droughts. So the Lord is strategic, man. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. Because shit is hitting the fan. Hey, I was gonna bring out some current events what I found on Haiti, but I'm so done with Haiti. Me being a Levite myself, that it's best to not talk about that shit than to talk about it. Long story short, it's done. Just being a dead horse speaking about Haiti. Hey, but that's what happens when you're the weakest country on that hemisphere. Don't you see that Yemen and Haiti are the top hot topics? Why is that? Because inflation is going about, and those are the two weakest countries on each hemisphere. They're the two poorest countries on each hemisphere. So it's gonna go like a domino effect, So those who don't have the strongest country on that hemisphere backing them are gonna fall first. But at the end of the day, these world powers, they're all gonna fall as well, man. Because the weakest right now on the earth, which is the tail, is Yasharallah, the elect, They're gonna be risen up first, man. And all these people are gonna be to naught, because Iran, in the back of their mind, yeah, they're going to war, but they think they're gonna be the next superpower, man. Elam, they think they're gonna be the next superpower. Russia, they believe so as well. China, so they all have these different coalitions and these different alliances where they're teaming and backing up each other. But in each of their mind, each of them, they believe, okay, we're gonna be next. This is our chance, And Babylon the Great ain't going down without a fight, Their dollar's being combated with the BRICS, so forth and so on. So we're about to see the big battle, like it speaks about in Ezekiel chapter 38. Ra'ashar coming here and beating the hell about these people, in a warlike manner. Gog and Magog, they're gonna shoot missiles upon this place, man, and decimate this place. They're gonna win that battle. Putin has a general called General Armageddon, man. So it's like, this shit's all spiritual. You can't make it up. Putin's revealing the icons, the Russian icons, which is old as ever, because the apostles have always been bringing it out. But when a rich man speaketh, they extol it to the clouds, But hey, these are times we're in. Ain't nothing that's coming out and being spoken about that the men of the Lord have not brought out or exposed, But they don't care for the men of the Lord. That's why, it says they shall not give an account to their labors or whatnot. Hey, y'all gonna pay for all that, for all the mistreating, all the scoffings, all of that, man. But they're gonna be well in that in the times to come. Last but not least, a man died at Trump's court date, and who knows? That could be for theatrical reasons. Their Masonic ways and all the esoteric instruments. But these are times we in, man, where people are just losing their minds. They're just doing things, man, and it's becoming normal. And if people only knew that how bad things are gonna be, this is low-key the good days. Everybody talks about how back in the days was the good days, which it was, But right now it's the good days also, because you don't see nobody eating each other yet. Hey, you're still living in a good day right now. Because it's about to get bad, man. The book of Jeremiah chapter 50, I want to start at verse 1 real quick. I'm not going to get the whole scripture. I'm not going to get the whole chapter. The word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashinah spies, spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Verse 2, declare ye the nations and publish. Jeremiah was a young man, Continue when he first got up in this thing, man, So a lot of people didn't have no regard and no care for his word, because they believe, oh, he's an adolescent, who the hell is this guy to be talking? Hey, but this was a deep, edifying, hell of a prophet which the Lord was dealing with. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, and Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate. How many times have we read this word desolate, man? The land being desolate, Babylon the Great being desolate, man. Come on, man. The word of the Lord is true and faithful. Faithful and true. So we know this thing is gonna come to happen, man. It's gonna be at a crazy catastrophic rate. which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Sheesh. But the point being is, these idols, they're confounded. They're gonna be broken up, man. You know, all that Jesus bullshit, that's just being put to rest, man. You know, all the Satanery, what's the Malcolm, the elder, I'm about to say Malcolm X, tripping, let's say. The elder Malcolm, you know, he went into all that, man. You know, pretty much, you know, all the pedophilia, you know, the Epstein Island, the human trafficking, all the holidays which these places set up, which is really an evilness, the winter solstice, the summer solstice, all that's about to be confounded, man. All that's about to be put to rest, you know, and it's already being confounded and put to rest. It's just, you know, it's gonna get even worse, man. And that's why Esau Edom, they're gonna go and unleash everything that they have, because they know that the time is short. So it's like they're gonna go out with a bang. Benjamin Netanyahu, his situation is, Benjamin Netanyahu, his situation is that if this war takes a pause, or if this war comes to an end, he'd have to be faced, he's gonna be facing criminal charges and gonna be in a fucked up predicament. And you know how Esau Edom is. They're not gonna be put in that kind of case. They'd rather kill themselves than be in that case, man. They're a vagabond. So what he's gonna do, or what he's looking to do, his mindset is, if he can't win, no one can win. He's gonna take down everything with him, man. That's why verse 12, I believe, speaks about how, you know, he knows, but he had a short time. Bear with me, my book of Shah. 12 and 12, Revelation, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and in the sea, like we mentioned earlier. For the devil, Esau Edom, is coming down upon you, having great wrath, because he knows he has but a short time. So he's gonna be like a little kid when you tell him it's time to go home, you know, after having a nice day at the park. What he started to do, he started to unleash all that energy, right? Because he knows he has like 2 minutes left. So he's like running around everywhere. He's climbing all the monkey bars. He knows he has to go in the car soon, and he falls asleep, you know. That's what Esau Edom, he's gonna do, man. He's gonna unleash everything in his back bucket, in his back pocket, you know, and try to take it down with him. Because we dealing with Amalek, man. They're the number one enemies in the tribe of Esau. Esau being the number one enemy, but the number one enemy in the tribe of Esau is Amalek. So that's going to show you, Esau Edom got to be put to death, man. Esau got the worst of the worst within themselves. There's like levels to this Edomitry, man. Edomite, I'm making up words and shit. Salaki, man. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, whether you're not an Amalekite or not, if you're an Edomite, you fall under that umbrella, you're going to be done, man. And that's why it's righteous that all the things that the Lord speaks about, you know, tribe of Edom, Obadiah 18, it all makes sense. You know? It all makes sense, man. Hey, and as time goes on, their horns are gonna continue to grow and show. They're not gonna slow down and, oh man, you know, we're being exposed, let's clean up our faces. Hell no, man. They're the damn devil, like it speaks about. They don't give a damn about that genocide which they're doing. Jen going into genealogy, you know, the people, whatnot. I don't have the correct terminology. And then Side going into killing, man. So they trying to kill out a whole race of people. They trying to wipe out, you know, the people of that land so that there no more be. And then they try to label them as Amalek, knowing that they Amalek. So they can have like a biblical storyline to it. Like the Lord is dealing with what the fuck they doing. Hey, but the Lord is controlling them, you know. Man's going is of the Lord, you know, but hey, they some demons for that, man. And they being exposed. You know, the first wars before war is the propaganda war. You know, having the people to believe something, which is not or whatnot, to have them on your side. Guess what? They losing that. They already lost that, matter of fact. Put it like that, you know. So that's why you don't even see anti-Semitism being brought up on the level which it used to be back in the day, because everybody know that was bullshit which they was pulling off, man. They was just pulling that off so they could save face, so they could pretty much have that like pity. Ain't no more pity for this damn place, man. Amalek, you being exposed. Your skirt has been lifted upon you. So let's go to the book of Salaki for being long-winded, man. Spirit on me. Spirit on me. I'm going to go to the book of Habakkuk or Habakkuk. chapter 2, starting at verse 1, and it reads, I will stand up on my watch, and this is the times that we're in, man. We're in the time of Habakkuk. I will stand up on my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai answered me and said, write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So that we can understand, who's that reading it, man? And who's going to understand this thing? The children of light, the elect. Those who don't have a stumbling block set before them. Those who have the eyesight which the Lord has given. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, as it speaks about in the book of Ecclesiastes, a time for here, a time to plant, a time to pluck up, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. We're in the time of this vision. But at the end it shall speak. So, this vision was blurry for a point in time. A lot of people couldn't understand it. And a lot of people thought it was to be far-fetched. That's the word I was looking for. 30 years ago when the apostles, 30 plus years ago when the apostles on highways and byways, bringing out the MOTB, people ain't know what the hell this was, but they had that vision, man. They clearly saw it. And to this day, they still do, man. So call on them like Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for that. For keeping them, in that right state of mind, the right spirit. Hey, but it was far-fetched to those people, man. But nowadays, you bring that up, a motherfucker got to be dumb to not believe you. You got people in the world who already know this, man, who don't even have spirituality to themselves, per se. Esau Edom understand that shit. You got Elon Musk right in your face telling you he's putting a brain chip in you. You got people talking about, not even supposed to say that word because I don't want this thing to get strike. It's on one of my only pages too. And by the way, if this page does ever get strike, I have a page that's called GMS Uncreole, but I'm gonna take the GMS out. I'm gonna work on that. Still double honest to others, possible GMS, Still brothers in the spirit. But he had a dude playing chess. He had a dude who was paralyzed, who was able to move his body now. So you're gonna start seeing niggas that was like fat as hell or broken back or just some crazy underlying illness, just doing something that which you never perceive. And all these people are gonna be allured. They're gonna be persuaded. Write it plain upon Salakia. It shall speak and not lie. Hey, was the Apostle Tahar and those under him on down liars of what's come to pass? Is it not true that nuclear war is we're on the brink of that? ICBM nuclear missiles? Is it not true that Jacob's trouble is about to pop off, where everyone's, for the lack of bread, they're losing their minds, they're fighting one another, they're killing people? I just did a lesson maybe last week or this week. A nigga got killed in Miami for over $1. I'm sure it was probably more than that, but at the end of the day, that dollar was the last straw. Hey, that's the times we're coming into, man. Where a nigga they don't even give a fuck. Like a nigga just itching to just itch. Which is the spirit of Satan upon him, man. That left hand, which is that Jacob's trouble spirit upon him. But may the Lord keep us away from all that catastrophe, we'll call it. Because it will surely come and it will not tarry. So this thing, at a point in time, it seemed like, this shit taking forever or whatnot. You got the COVID-19, slows down. You got this, slows down. This rumors of war, slows down. But man, when that MOTB is implemented, that snowball is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And once it gets to the end of the road, it's gonna crash on Babylon Gate. Bow, Continuing on, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not unright in him, but the just shall live by faith. That's right. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine. What's that wine? The doctrine. That's how he transgressed, That's how he went off, causing everyone else to go off. His philosophies, his ways of life. Telling people that sodomy is okay. Telling people that you should worship Jesus Christ, this, that, and the third. Blaspheming, the Lord and the Spirit, the images. Continuing on, he is a proud man. Isn't he proud? Isn't he prideful? What do they call those pride parades, man? Pride. It says pride goeth before destruction. So you want to walk with your head to the sky, like your shit don't stink. Hey, the Lord's going to humble all that, man. Esau Edom, causing the rest to be prideful with you. Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heaping to him all people. Isn't his embassies and everywhere? Isn't he trying to be the police of the earth? Doesn't he want every land to himself, man? shall not these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him, meaning destruction, that increases that which is not his? How long? This guy takes everything that's not his. He rapes, robs, pillage, and murders, man. You know, I seen a sign, matter of fact, at my boss's crib, my so-called boss's crib. I hate that goddamn word. This Edomite's crib. It said, it was a picture of either Gad or Reuben, so-called Native Americans or Seminole Indians, and they had guns in their hands. They had like these old ass guns in their hands, and the sign said, "Don't worry, turn in your weapons. The government will take care of you." You know, so food for thought. You know, so that's how they food for thought, man. So you know, they broke all 400 treaties plus which they had with them, man, and took them via the weapons, man. You know, but it's all because of prophecy. It wasn't because, you know, Gad and Reuben weren't warriors or whatnot and couldn't defeat them. It's just, you know, prophecy sake that, you know, the Lord had it happen that way, which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, meaning debt. Hey, that's another way to show you that this place is going down, is via the debt. You know, they got the debt clock, which different brothers bring out every now and then, the credit report of America, and it's terrible. This place cannot be recovered financially. You know, so when shit's the fan, they realize, okay, the dollar's not gonna save them. It's gonna be, you know, bombs in Baghdad, roughly paraphrasing, man. But with that, man, may the Lord, you know, bless you guys' household. May this lesson have been edifying, this camp, you know. And may you brothers have a good camp, you know, wherever you are in your respective places. And before we go out, we want to give all the glory and honor and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ka'akodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, being millstone. Shalom to Yakim and faith and working true sincerity. Abarat Tazad, man, we get up out of here soon, swiftly, man. Shalom.